Welcome to the deep dive. We take the sources you give us and really try to pull out the most important nuggets.
That's the goal.
Today, we're plunging right into the escalating tensions between Iran and Israel. It feels like things are moving very quickly.
They really are.
So our mission for you is to break down the latest developments. We're talking direct military actions, Iran's internal security crackdown, which seems intense, and that big question mark over potential U.S. involvement.
And it's crucial to get just how dynamic this is. Everything's connected. Events are unfolding almost hour by hour.
High stakes is probably an understatement.
Definitely. Every move matters here.
Okay, so let's start with the direct conflict. The sources are showing, well, a clear escalation. Israel's defense forces, the IDF, they're saying they've struck, I think it was over 20 military targets inside Tehran.
That's the report, yeah. Over 20 targets.
And they're specifically describing them as key nuclear and missile sites. Stuff fueling the weapons program is how they put it.
Right. And targeting those specific types of sites, well, it tells you something.
What does it tell us about the strategy?
It signals they're trying to degrade Iran's longer-term capabilities. Yeah. It's not just tit for tat. It's about disrupting their strategic programs before they, fully mature.
A preemptive element, almost.
You could say that. Part of that ongoing sort of war between wars approach we hear about, it's a strong message being sent.
And on the flip side, Iran's attacks, are they hitting their marks?
Well, Israel is hitting targets, but they're also defending pretty heavily. Their air defense systems.
Iron Dome and the others.
Exactly. They seem to be intercepting most of the missiles coming from Iran.
Yeah.
So they're working hard to neutralize those incoming threats, maintaining control of their airspace.
Okay, so beyond the missiles and strikes, there's this whole other layer happening inside Iran.
Right. The internal situation.
A big spike in arrests related to Israel. The police commander, Ahmad Reza Radan, actually used the phrase heavy blows against an alleged Israeli spying network.
Yeah, that language is strong. It suggests they feel vulnerable internally, or at least want to project strength against perceived infiltration.
Do we have specifics on these arrests?
Some details. One person supposedly linked to Mossad was arrested out in Kurdistan province, that's in the west.
Okay.
And then others detained in different areas, Tehran, Isfahan, Markazi are mentioned, but, numbers are unspecified for those.
And wasn't there something about filming a nuclear plant?
Yes, that recent report. A foreign national, they said, allegedly caught filming the Bushehr plant for Mossad. That's their only operating civilian nuclear facility.
Wow. And the official reaction seems severe. Iran's Attorney General's office threatening the severest punishments.
And they're not bluffing, it seems. A man accused of spying for Mossad was actually executed just days ago.
An execution, that certainly sends a message.
A very clear, very brutal one, both inside Iran and to the outside world. Now, we absolutely have to add the caveat. We can't independently verify the accuracy of these spying charges. But the response itself, the execution, it shows how determined they are to crush anything they see as espionage. Zero tolerance.
Okay, let's shift to the international angle. The U.S. involvement or potential involvement, that adds, well, a whole new level of complexity. Donald Trump's comments have been interesting.
Ambiguous is probably the word.
He said, what was it? I may do it, I may not do it, about joining Israeli strikes.
Right. And nobody knows what I want to do.
Yeah.
Classic Trump, keeping options open, creating uncertainty.
He also suggested Iran wants to negotiate because they're in a lot of trouble.
Which is interesting because Iran's public response is the complete opposite. Very defiant.
How so?
They put out statements saying they wouldn't grovel at the gates of the White House. And the Supreme Leader directly warned Trump about irreparable harm if the U.S. jumps in.
So, total opposite messages there. Strategic ambiguity meets outright defiance.
Pretty much. And for now, at least according to the sources, the U.S. hasn't requested using those key U.K. bases, like in Cyprus or Diego Garcia, for any potential strikes.
Which suggests maybe some level of caution or holding back from the U.S. side? For the moment, anyway.
Could be read that way, yes.
Yeah.
Or just keeping plans very close to the chest.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, it's clear we're looking at a conflict with, well, many different fronts. You've got the direct military strikes.
The missiles and defenses.
Then this intense internal counterintelligence crackdown inside Iran.
The arrests, the executions, the spying claims.
And layered over all of it, this really delicate international diplomatic situation, especially with the U.S. uncertainty.
And really understanding how all these pieces fit together, how fast things are moving, It's just critical for you, the listener. These events are shaping geopolitics in a big way.
Absolutely. It impacts regional stability, global dynamics. It matters.
It really does.
So the thought to leave you with is this. As things keep unfolding, how might each new development, whether it's another missile strike, an arrest, or just a statement from a world leader, how might each one shift the course of this incredibly unpredictable crisis? Something to keep thinking about.